Hi everyone. I've been asked to create some content explaining what my values are and what I stand for. I am officially on the ballot for Toowoomba Regional Council. My name is Martin Hartwig, if you didn't already know me. My lovely wife has assisted me with making some notes about what my values are. So I was born in Toowoomba, and I say it a lot, but you go to any graveyard around Toowoomba and you'll see plenty of Hartwigs. My father, Vernon Hartwig, was a tour guide at John Dairy and Woolshed. Used to drive the Clydesdale horses out there. I am a family man. I live, laugh, and love in Toowoomba. I'm currently working as a fiberglass labourer in a factory, but I've done many things, and I'll get on that later. My educational background is that I went to Fraser Coast Anglican College in Hervey Bay. I was a prefect and a house captain. That was a long time ago. None of that is relevant anymore. But those are the first elections that I ever won. I went to Griffith University in Brisbane, and I studied a Bachelor of Government and International Relations. I also separately studied a Bachelor of Communications, so that's like public relations and journalism. And I also, in the interim years between those two things, did a little bit of citizen journalism for The Unshackled. So I have a portfolio of blogging and whatnot. I've done a fair few different things. I've worked in hospitality, in retail, events, construction labouring, warehousing, logistics, manufacturing, hobbies and interests. So I've done a little bit of painting. I'm not going to show you my embarrassing paintings, but I find it to be a cathartic outlet from time to time. I do quite like Murray's Art and Framing on Ruthven Street. Shout out to you. The practical arts, I like woodworking and engraving, and advocacy. It's a term that I've seen thrown around a lot. But what are you actually advocating for? So what do I advocate for? Youth mental health. I had a, let's just say, mixed background. I was raised by a single mother. I lost my father when I was young. So I had to kind of find who I was as a young man. And praise God, I've found a beautiful woman. We've married, we've had children, we've got a second child on the way. So I guess just stick it out, and God's plan can just completely reinvigorate you, and don't give up on yourself. You know, just because you've had made a mistake in your youth, don't give up on yourself. Youth mental health. But that also comes into the youth crime crisis. And I know as a counsellor I won't have much influence over this, but I think that it stems from a lack of hope. Young people not having hope in the future, and that I don't think that that's just young people. That's many people fail to have hope for the future, and that has repercussions, and people behave in different ways as a result of this. And that also feeds into housing affordability. So I'm a renter. I'm not a homeowner. I don't have assets. I'm not a business owner, but I do know many people in the business community around Toowoomba. Finally, I'll get to my political affiliations. So I am currently a member of the Australian Federation Party. Brett Tunbridge, the state director, is a very good friend of mine. I assisted Ryan Otto with his federal election run back in 2022. You may know me from a lot of the anti-mandate protests. Some people call me the human megaphone because I can have I can project my voice when I need to. And I've supported local small businesses such as Bar Wonder. You may remember me from Bar Wonder. Wasn't that an interesting saga? And if you'll check my my nominees, you'll see Fiona on there. So I'm obviously pro-choice in terms of what we put into our bodies. I wouldn't call myself a libertarian per se, but I think it's important that we all have the right to say, yeah, leave me alone. Just leave me alone. And also, I'm anti-abortion. I'm pro-children, obviously, because, started my own family in spite of all of the cost of living crisis and whatnot. It's something that I've wanted my whole life, is to start a family. Like, just the joy that I see in my daughter's eyes when I come home and she's like, hey, and I see that smile. It just makes everything worthwhile. And I think that anti-natalism is a symptom of a sick society. We have a declining birth rate in Australia, yet our population is growing. So it seems like certain interests, certain business interests want to grow the population, but they don't. It's a complex issue, a third rail, if you will. Talk to me one-on-one and maybe you can help me get to the bottom of it. All right. But I'm pro children's rights, pro family. I've already touched on youth crime. And the other thing that I didn't say is that I think that it stems from a lack of literacy and numeracy, which leads to lack of self-confidence and lashing out through violence and attention-seeking behaviors. Anyway, hopefully that was a good summary of who I am. Really need to get the fundraising ball rolling because time is running out. It is 3-4 weeks out from the election, and I don't know if you've driven around Toowoomba. There's a lot of signs out there. So I'd like to get the core flutes. It's like 2 to 3 days delivery. The quote that I have is around $460. Don't worry about stakes or fittings. I'll even put the things together myself. A good member of the community has offered some stakes left over from the last federal election. I know I lost a whole bunch that I'd purchased myself. I went out to get them later on, and other people had already claimed them. I love that. They're not cheap, but the budget, I don't want to go above $1,000. I don't think that it's necessary. I think what's necessary is for people to show up, to assist with getting the word out. pieces of paper that'll end up in landfill. I don't think it's necessary. Anyway, it's getting to the 10-minute mark, so love you all. Bye.